Good morning, students. This video will cover the contents taken on 5th May. That is the subtopics which we had covered in our online class on 5th May. So this again is the same topic, oxidation and reduction reactions, which are also called redox reactions. So far we have studied the classical concept and the electronic concept of defining or understanding redox reactions. Now today we will see another definition of redox reactions or oxidation and reduction reactions. So according to this definition, oxidation may be defined as the process of addition of electronegative element or as the process of removal of electropositive element. So I will write down here and we will see how to differentiate between the two, oxidation and reduction. So the first point is electronegative element, and here there is just the opposite, addition of an electropositive element, or we can say removal of electropositive element, and in this case it will be removal of electronegative element. So this is another definition where we can say that oxidation is addition of electronegative element or removal of electropositive element, and reduction is defined as the addition of electropositive element or removal of electronegative element. So we will understand this with this reaction. NaBr plus Cl2 will give us, I am writing a balanced equation for you all, plus Br2. So this will understand with this example. When chlorine gas is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium bromide, then sodium chloride and bromine are formed. Okay. Now in this reaction you will see that NaBr changes to Br2. Okay. So what does this involve? It involves the removal of electropositive atom. So that is oxidation. As per this definition of oxidation, removal of electropositive element. So here this is the electropositive element which is being removed from here, from NaBr. So we will say, we'll call it oxidation. Okay. So we'll say that NaBr has been oxidized. So here if we understand the terms, the oxidizing agent and the reducing agent, or if we have to see which substance has reduced and which substance has oxidized. So here, since Cl2 brings about oxidation of NaBr, so we will call Cl2 as the oxidizing agent. Now there is reduction of Cl2 which has taken place. Why? Because here Cl2 becomes NaCl, where this NaCl is a electropositive element. So addition of electropositive element is reduction. So this is the reduction. This has reduced. Okay. Cl2 is the oxidizing agent which itself has got reduced. And now this NaBr which has brought about the reduction of Cl2 is the reducing agent. So NaBr is the reducing agent and Cl2 is the oxidizing agent. So this is also one way of defining oxidation and reduction reaction, though it is not there in your NCERT book, but as extra information, extra learning, you should know this also. Now we move on to our next topic, and that is corrosion. As you have studied in lower classes, in class 6 or class 7, you came across the word rusting of iron. This we used to give as example for chemical changes also. Rusting of iron. So the rust is formed when iron article, any iron object is left exposed to air. It turns into rust, or rusting takes place. Okay, so when iron is left exposed in moist air, that is, there are two conditions required for rusting of iron, and those two conditions are water and oxygen or air. Okay, so moist air will have water content in it, so it changes into iron oxide. This iron oxide is the chemical name of rust. Okay, so children, rusting of iron is an example of corrosion. In case of iron, we use the term rusting, and for other metals we'll say corrosion. So corrosion is a process of slowly eating of metals or wasting away of metals due to their conversion into oxides, carbonates, sulfides, sulfates, etc. by the action of atmospheric gases and moisture. So this is a definition of corrosion, but it is actually when metals, they are left exposed to air or left exposed to atmosphere, they react with atmospheric gases and get corroded. Okay, so we use the word corroded. So metals get corroded, and it depends on their reactivity. The more reactive a metal, the faster is corrosion. So I had also explained two examples of corrosion of copper. So how the corrosion of copper takes place, let us see that. So the reaction will be like this: copper plus CO2 plus O2 plus the water present in air. So all these are from moist air, we'll say. And it forms CuCO3 CuOH whole twice. This is basic copper carbonate. This is green in color, dull green in color, and this is basic copper carbonate. Okay, so this is an equation, a reaction of corrosion of copper. So you must have seen at home also the copper vessels, after some time they develop a greenish coating on their surface. So this greenish coating is nothing but the formation of basic copper carbonate when copper reacts with these present in the air, carbon dioxide, oxygen, water. Okay, so this is about the corrosion of copper. And next example is corrosion of silver. When silver is left exposed in air, it may react with hydrogen sulfide, which may be present in traces, which is present in traces in air. So here the equation is like this: Ag plus H2S will give silver sulfide. This silver sulfide is black in color, or the silver articles, they, after corrosion, they get a black coating on their surface. So this black coating is of silver sulfide. So you may be asked questions like what is a green coating, what is the formula for the green coating which forms on copper on its corrosion. Okay, so these things you have to learn the formula of these green and black coatings on these metals and their chemical names also. So more reactive the metal, the more easily it corrodes. So metals like you have studied about the reactivity series of metals. So these reactive metals like potassium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, etc. These lie high up in the activity or reactivity series. So they undergo corrosion very easily. Whereas the less reactive metals like noble metals such as gold and platinum, they do not corrode readily. So this is about corrosion and the conditions necessary for rusting. Now I told you that corrosion of iron is called rusting. Okay, and we know that it's a serious problem. Every year large amount of money is spent to replace rusted iron and steel structures. Now the color of rust, is reddish brown. This rust is reddish brown in color. So children, you should know these colors also. In exams you are asked about these also, the color of rust or this corrosion of copper results in which color coating or that of silver. So the conditions for rusting are presence of water or presence of moisture and presence of air or oxygen. So for other metals we use the general term corrosion. Okay, so it's just a reaction of these metals with the atmospheric gases. So for today that's all, and in our next class we will be taking up rigidity. Thank you.